Again, I am not sure what the relevance
Well,
of this question is.
let me show you the relevance. On November 7th, 2024, from your tweet, here's one of your tweets at 2:41 p.m. Quote, "The majority of Americans hate women. The majority of Americans hate women more than they love anything, including democracy." Close quote. Did I read that correctly?
What's up, America? Welcome back to America Patriots, the channel where common sense is still alive and, well, the flag flies high, and we say what everyone else is too nervous to say. Before we get rolling, make sure you smash that like button like it's 1999, hit subscribe so hard it registers on the Richter scale, and drop a comment. It helps us beat the algorithm that somehow thinks patriotism is controversial. And hey, stick around, because if you love liberty, barbecue, or Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s unapologetic honesty, you're in the right place. All right, folks, today we're reacting to a real doozy of a Senate hearing clip, and trust me, it's one for the highlight reel. If you've ever wanted to see a senator calmly walk into a room and then proceed to roast marshmallows over the testimony of a law professor, you're going to love this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for having to miss the testimony of some of you, and I appreciate you coming today. Professor Franks, let me ask you, I listened to your and Ms. Hemingway's testimony and Professor Turley's, so I got part of it. As I understand it, your position, Professor Franks, is that, I think you used the word myth. It is a myth that the Biden administration used government to compel speech, private speech, but that the Trump administration is doing that. Is that a fair characterization?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Do you think perhaps you're allowing your personal political beliefs to affect your objectivity here?
No, I do not. What is guiding my answers here is that I'm looking to see what the Supreme Court has said. You notice that in the testimony about the censorship and industrial complex.
I got that part.
No, I just want to clarify.
No, but I've only got 5 minutes. Your answer is no, as I appreciate it. Let me ask you a couple questions. You wrote a law review article in December of 2023 for the New York University Law Review, and it was about the two cases, Bruin, Supreme Court case, and Dobbs. Remember that article?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In this article, you said, I'm going to quote your words, "Taken together, these two cases demonstrate that the Supreme Court has embraced the use of the Constitution as a tool of racial patriarchy," end quote. Did you say that?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went on to say, quote, "When the Supreme Court declares that there is a constitutional right to armed self-defense in public, it openly embraces and promotes a culture that privileges white men's ability to terrorize and kill those that they perceive as threats," close quote. Did I read that correctly?
I believe so. Thank you for reading.
Okay. And did you also say in that article, I'm going to quote again, quote, "by simultaneously expanding white men's right to kill and constricting women's right not to die, this Supreme Court," referring to the current United States Supreme Court, "has turned the Constitution into a homicide pact as well," close quote. Did you write that?
That sounds like me.
Okay. In November of 2024, you tweet, don't you?
I'm not sure what the current terminology is for it, but yes, I am sometimes on the social platform that was formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, you're on a lot, aren't you?
I'm not sure what the relevance of that is.
You're trying to be provocative on there, don't you?
Again, I'm not sure what the relevance
Well,
of this question is.
let me show you the relevance. On November 7th, 2024, from your tweet, here's one of your tweets at 2:41 p.m. Quote, the majority of Americans hate women. The majority of Americans hate women more than they love anything, including democracy, close quote. Did I read that correctly?
I am not sure what this has to do with the subject matter of this
Did you
hearing.
say it?
I do not have those words in front of me. I probably said something along those lines, but what is
you
the
said it.
relevance of
Here
that
it
to
is,
this
big as
hearing?
Dallas, right there.
Yes.
But your political beliefs don't impact your feelings about President Biden or President Trump.
I don't have feelings about either of them. What I have
Sounds
is
to me like you have your favorite feeling is anger. Let me ask you this. You issued another tweet. This was in May of 2022. You've just been tweeting up a storm. You said, quote, "There's a reason why the conservative-dominated Supreme Court thinks the Constitution does not contain a right to an abortion, but is convinced that it contains an individual right to possess firearms. And that reason is white male supremacy," close quote. Did I read that correctly?
Is there a question in this?
Did I read that correctly? That's
Is there
my
a question that is relevant to this hearing?
Did I read that correctly? Do you really think that the United States Supreme Court, you're an officer of the court, is guided by white male supremacy?
I believe that the First Amendment prohibits the president
Did you
and other
say
state
that?
officials for punishing people for
Did
their
you honestly say that, Professor?
I
And you
believe
expect us,
that the First
as a
Amendment-
Democratic witness, to take you seriously? Are you kidding me?
I believe that you should take
You
the First
heard of
Amendment
curb your
seriously, sir.
enthusiasm? Here's my saying, curb my nausea.
I believe that you
The
should take
time
the First
has
Amendment
expired. Thank
seriously.
you. Senator Durbin.
So the senator starts off trying to get a straight answer from Professor Franks, who, by the way, seems allergic to giving yes or no answers unless absolutely forced, like a kid caught with their hand in the cookie jar. He asks if she really believes the Biden administration never compelled private speech, but the Trump administration did. And she says yes, with a straight face. Incredible. I haven't seen confidence like that since the guy who told me kale chips taste just like Pringles. Then he tries very politely to figure out if her political beliefs might maybe, possibly, potentially be influencing the way she looks at all this. And she's like, nope, not at all. Pure objectivity. Meanwhile, he's holding a stack of her quotes that sound like they were written during a midnight rage tweet session with dramatic music playing in the background. And that's when the fun begins. He starts reading from her law review article. You know, those paper professors write when they want to impress each other. She apparently wrote that the Supreme Court has embraced Constitution as a tool of racial patriarchy. Folks, I don't know what law school cafeteria she was sitting in when she wrote that, but let me tell you, the senator might as well have been reading a screenplay for a dystopian sci-fi movie. The look on her face was priceless. She basically said, yep, that sounds like me. Like she's proud of it. Honest, I'll give her that. But wow. Then he quotes her again, this time saying the court's self-defense ruling privileges white men's ability to terrorize and kill. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is the kind of sentence you write after 3 shots of espresso and 0 minutes of reflection. And then, the cherry on top, he reads a line where she said the Supreme Court has turned the Constitution into a homicide pact. Folks, even my dog raised an eyebrow at that one. But the senator wasn't done yet. Oh no, he rolled out the tweets. And if you've ever wanted to see someone get increasingly annoyed by being reminded of what they themselves posted publicly, this was your moment. He brings up her tweet claiming the majority of Americans hate women. And she basically says, well, I mean, maybe I said something like that. Listen, if I tweeted something like that, the first thing I'd say is, I was hacked. Real or not, that's a classic escape hatch. But what gets me is this. She says none of this affects her objectivity. None of it. All those quotes, all those tweets, the dramatic all-caps energy of it all. And she claims it has zero effect on her professional stance. Folks, I can't even go to the grocery store hungry without making biased decisions. And she wants us to believe none of that influences her perspective on constitutional law? That's when the senator hits her with the line of the day. Curb my nausea I spit out my coffee, so hard my dog got caffeinated by proximity. But look, here's the bigger picture. This is why people are losing trust in institutions. It's not because America is full of hateful people. It's because some folks with academic titles spend more time posting spicy takes online than actually representing the average citizen. Meanwhile, real Americans, the ones working jobs, raising families, paying taxes, are tired of being told they're part of some villainous conspiracy every time they disagree with Professor. This is why voices like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. have been resonating. Agree or disagree with him. The man says what he believes without the academic mumbo-jumbo. He's not hiding behind jargon or fancy phrases. He talks like a human being. And after watching hearings like this, you start to appreciate that kind of clarity even more. Anyway, folks, let me know in the comments what you think about this hearing. Was the senator out of line? Or did Professor Franks walk straight into a rhetorical buzzsaw of her own creation? Comment America if you made it this far, so I know you're one of the real patriots. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. And as always, stay loud, stay proud, and stay free. This is America Patriots, signing off.